To see a world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wild flower. Sometimes simplicity can be the hardest thing to achieve. With a few seemingly effortless strokes, these aquatic creatures come to life, shaking their antennae sprightly and with a touch of elegancy. They are creations by Qi Baishi, renowned Chinese painter and calligrapher, who is regarded as the Grand Master of Chinese freehand brushwork. Freehand brushwork is a significant style of Chinese painting. It values spirited expression over precise shape and appearance, and pursues a delicate balance between likeness and unlikeness, which is also the creative philosophy that Qi Baishi cherished. The shrimps in this painting are more lifelike than real ones, as if they are swimming in clear water. He uses light ink for the bodies, giving them a delicate and transparent look, while dark ink is used for the shrimp's head, giving it a hard and firm look. Although the strokes look quickly done, Qi Baishi actually painted slowly. The curves in each shrimp and the bend of each antenna indicate movement of the shrimp and resistance from water.
而齐白石最大的能耐是什么？像李可染说的，慢，哪怕齐白石画这个须子都画得非常慢，那多难呢？
Shrimps make up only one part of Qi Baishi's world of ink. He also painted crunchy cabbages, fruits, insects, and everyday objects like bamboo rakes, baskets, and abacuses. Qi Baishi's approach differed from traditional painters, with an emphasis on nature's essence and the liveliness of each object, however small and inconspicuous. His works are like a refreshing breeze, carrying simple, innocent charm. In the 1970s and 1980s, Qi Baishi's shrimp paintings started to appear on daily necessities such as tableware, thermoses, and wash basins. Even those who couldn't read recognized his art. He was known as the painter of the people.
我们所有的观众能够在他的作品中读出一个很可爱的、很朴实的一个艺术家的一个灵魂。
Even in his 90s, this self-taught master and beloved artist continued to create simple, childlike, but profound pieces for future generations. 1 year before his passing in 1956, 96-year-old Qi Baishi was awarded the International Peace Prize by the World Peace Council. Never before had ink and wash been used to delineate such anatomical precision. Never before had a Chinese artist painted a galloping horse with such force that it seems to burst out of the canvas. The strokes flow freely, and the details precise to the point of perfection. Galloping Horse was painted by Qi Baishi, who is revered as the father of modern Chinese painting. It hits viewers with the dynamic spirit of a horse and introduced us to a completely novel technique in Chinese painting. This piece was created in 1944, when the Chinese people's war of resistance against Japanese aggression neared its turning point. It was also a time when the artist reached the peak of his creativity. In this phenomenal painting, the artist captured the form of the horse with ink and wash, creating a three-dimensional perspective. This approach imbues the horse with a fiery spirit and infuses the painting with a powerful, unrestrained sense of strength. Let's travel back to the 1920s. Qi Baishi was a poor student at the Beaux-Arts de Paris at that time. The 24-year-old had traveled far to Paris, the art capital of the world, in the hope of changing the centuries-old paradigm of Chinese painting, which was austere, detached, and often serving as escapes from real social issues. Unable to afford models, he painted self-portraits in front of a mirror in his dormitory. The young artist also frequented the horse farm in the Parisian suburbs, observing and sketching day after day. The images of horses were slowly etched onto his heart, as if painting horses was painting self-portraits. Also at that time, far off, in his homeland in the East, the free spirit, symbolic of horses, was stifled. Upon returning from Paris, Qi Baishi found his country mired in a civil war and torn by foreign invasion. He took up his weapon of the paintbrush and poured his grievances into paintings. The painting, titled Standing Horse, manifested the defiant spirit of a steed standing against harsh wind. The Galloping Horse expressed the artist's burning anxiety regarding a strategic battle against the enemy. Whereas in 1942's Horse, the back figure of a horse standing alone conveys the heroic spirit of standing up to aggression, majestic and not to be beaten. In 1944, when the war entered its critical phase, Qi Baishi took up his brush again and let the Galloping Horse cry out in his place with all its free spirit, to let the world know that his country was welcoming a long-awaited victory. Qi Baishi's expertise in sketching is evident from the skeletal prominence of his horses. Distinct structure of bones can be seen in the torso and head of the horses. The legs, hooves and joints were all painted in refined details. These are natural overflow from his rich experiences in sketching. To show the horse's muscles, Qi Baishi applied the shadowing techniques of the West horses' rump and back were often given large swathes of blank spaces, showing contrast between light and shadow, and bringing out the horse's powerful muscles. Blank spaces were also used on the legs and the head, giving off a highlighting effect. Beihong painted horses from each and every angle, with them all on the move, often appearing to be leaping off the painting, projecting a strong perspective effect.
徐悲鸿先生笔下的奔马呢，它不是曲高和寡的源自于传统文人书斋之中的一种自命清高的，而是呈现出一种与人民群众、与家国社会同呼吸、共命运。
In Galloping Horse, one finds an indomitable warrior and a free spirit. It gallops forward and has come to symbolize the resilience of a nation in times of adversity. I strive to capture the constant changes in white, while outlining the geese flapping their wings. The red strokes are the crowning touch that brings the white parts to life. I had to be quick in those fleeting moments. Painting this felt like scaling a mountain of 3,000 meters in one go, exhausting, yet exhilarating. This is how the painter recalled his creating process. The cooking fire and drying laundry on the boat breathe life into the painting and become the spotlight of human vitality. Geese on Taihu Lake by Wu Guanzhong is hailed as a breakthrough in the genre of Chinese freehand oil painting. Wu Guanzhong was born in a water town in southeast China's Jiangsu province. His father used to ferry him to school on a small fishing boat when he was a little boy. The black and white houses along the riverbanks, the picturesque bridges, flocks of geese, and oars slicing through the water left a lasting impression on him. At age 17, Wu Guanzhong enrolled in the Hangzhou National College of Art, then China's best art institution, to study painting. 1 year later, the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression broke out. Wu and his family had to flee from their home and went on life-threatening journeys in search of safety. But his passion for painting never diminished. When Wu Guanzhong was 28 years old, he enrolled in the École Nationale Supérieure des Beaux-Arts in Paris. Modern Western techniques and ideologies in art left the young artist in awe. But the scenery of his misty hometown in southern China remained the ultimate embodiment of beauty in his heart. Upon returning to his home country after graduation, Wu Guanzhong sought to incorporate modern Western aesthetics in painting Chinese cultural and natural landscapes, such as his beloved Yellow River, mountains in the spring, and water towns south of the Yangtze River. He also depicted hardships that he saw on his sketching journeys. He remembered observing the mottled surface of vine-covered walls and felt as if he could hear the lamentations of people who once lived inside. In 1974, the 55-year-old painter went on a painting expedition on Taihu Lake, where he saw a flock of geese diving for food tossed out by a farmer. The vast surface of shimmering emerald waters rippled with the fluttering geese, as if shaking with the mountain range. On a simple wooden board measuring 44 by 60 centimeters, Wu Guanzhong began a bold experiment with shapes and colors to capture the scene of frenzied geese stirring up the water. With swift strokes, he applied color blocks of varying thickness as bodies of the geese. Seemingly random orange dots formed the heads of the geese. The geese in front of him merged with those from his childhood memories, becoming one amidst the clamor of their cackles.
吴冠中的这样的一种画中的用笔呢，形成了非常多的这样的肌理。这种肌理非常接近于我们在中国画的这个用笔里边毛笔的那种飞白的那种印记，同时呢，又非常贴近鹅毛的那样的一种蓬松的感觉。
The dynamic strokes captured the liveliness of the geese flock, while the unique choice of colors brings out the charm of Taihu Lake. Silver and gray hues, while uncommon in Western oil paintings, evoke the lights and subtle shades of spring in China's southern landscapes. Misty forests stretch into the distance, and these high saturation pure colors add a touch of whimsy to the otherwise ordinary life on the banks of Taihu Lake.
吴冠中先生画了大量的风景作品，像这样的作品不算多，但是在太湖鹅群这件作品中，你能分明能听到那群鹅向天的欢快的鸣叫啊！我想吴老创作这件作品，他一定带着一种很内在的对一种生活过的这种家乡的一种眷恋。
In his twilight years, Wu Guanzhong returned to his hometown in Jiangsu province, where the cackles of geese were almost part of the local dialect, so familiar and endearing to the artist. He would later capture his feelings in a poem in the inscription of his painting. The Western style of oil painting Wu Guanzhong had learned delineated the body of his artistic creations, but ink and water that was rooted in the misty southern landscapes remained the soul in his art. In 1992, his paintings were exhibited at the British Museum, marking the first show for a living Chinese artist at the institution. 10 years later, in recognition of his extraordinary talent, the 83-year-old Wu Guanzhong became the first Chinese artist to receive the prestigious honor of Correspondant of Académie des Beaux-Arts de l'Institut de France.